the English were hated amongst the French populace. Indeed, Joan's own village was burnt and raided on several occasions when she was young, which could in part explain her motivations and actions later on in her short life. The 100 Years' War started when King Edward III of England laid claim to the French crown after King Charles IV died in 1328, leaving no male heir. Edward then claimed the French, but the prospect of a King of England ruling France proved to be unpalatable, to say the least, to the French nobility, and they also in return claimed that the French crown could not pass to King Edward through the female line. Philip of Valois was then proclaimed King of France, as he was the grandson of the French King Philip III. Edward III then went to war in order to seize the French throne, which meant that his successors also maintained his claim, which perpetuated the conflict. 75 years, and Edward III had died in 1377, shortly after his own son, Edward, Prince of Wales, or the Black Prince, had died of dysentery, meaning that the English crown had passed to the Black Prince's young son and heir, Richard, who then became Richard II. But as he was young, Richard did not command the respect and authority that his father or grandfather enjoyed, meaning that after a series of crises and rebellions, he was overthrown, and the third, the son of John of Gaunt, Earl of Lancaster, Henry Bolingbroke, who was then crowned Henry IV. This rebellion was the root cause of the English War of the Roses, in which John of Gaunt's heirs, the Lancastrians, fought over the English throne against the heirs to the House of Plantagenet under the House of York, who were descended from the fourth son of Edward III, Edmund of Langley, 1st Duke of York. But during Joan of Arc's early as 3 years after her birth, English armies, under Henry IV's son, Henry V, had destroyed a much larger French army of King Charles VI at the Battle of Agincourt in 1415. This resulted in effect with the French monarchy being brought to its knees, and Charles VI being forced to sign the Treaty of Troyes in 1420, in which he acknowledged Henry V as his rightful heir. To further tie Catherine, who would later remarry Owen Tudor, Henry Tudor's grandfather, who would go on to defeat King Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth, ending the War of the Roses with a Lancastrian victory. But 2 years after the Treaty of Troyes, Henry V died of dysentery, being only in his middle 30s, and was then followed by Charles VI of France dying himself 2 months later. This resulted in Henry V and Catherine's 1-year-old son refused to accept Henry VI's rule over their country, and instead threw their support behind Charles VI's son, also named Charles, who claimed the throne for himself. Charles, or the Dauphin, as I shall now refer to him, which was the title given to the heir to the French throne, was the youngest but only surviving son of Charles VI, and was the brother of Henry V's wife, Catherine, making him Henry VI of England's uncle. The English were aided in their control. Philip had sought an alliance with the English.
Hi Aries. Why the show reel? Why the show reel? Because it's a show, right? Because it's a show, and a lot of times you are sitting back being truly a victim of circumstance, and things are happening around you and to you, and it's uncanny because you've been working on stuff, you've been working on your bad habits, you've been getting better, you've been evolving. Just like a gag reel, here comes the pain, but also the public pain, but also it's you, but also is the emperor wearing any clothes, but also why is this happening? But also it's not that bad. So it's very, very up and down. You have, if you're dealing with a water sign especially, you're going through it. And I appreciate how quiet you've been about it. But now do you see why the real is important? Because you need to get pulled out of this reality that you swear is it. This is all there is. This is all This is it. No, it's not. This is not all there is. This is not it. There's more than this. We need to step outside of this. We need to step outside of this and realize that your life is more than just your emotions about your loved ones in this moment. I know, of course, that's very difficult to do. And since Libra season, you've been working really, really hard on getting yourself into a really nice place, into a place where you feel that you're not being too harsh and you feel like you can move forward, and you have been sitting back and observing a lot and being, you know, like engaging in ways that are much kinder to you. Do you see what I mean? And do you see why? Because it's to snap you out of it. You're getting way too caught up in the and especially if you have water sign placements, you're getting way too caught up in the material. It's like it's taking the fixed energies, really taking, this isn't fixed energy, but the fixed energy is really taking a hold of you in a lot of ways. And that's weird for you as Cardinal Fire. You don't get stuck in your head about these emotional ups and downs right now. Don't get stuck to one version of this emotion that you want to have. You see, it's even annoying for me, but it's for a purpose. It's to be like, okay, come on, whatever it is you need to, like, and that's okay. And if that comes as a Tower moment, that's also okay. If it comes as you looking at something that you've been working on, now you're like, why did I even work on it if it was going to be like this? Like, why did I even put all that effort in? Well, because like you need to do it for you. It's not for a partner. It's not for anyone else to think. But now I feel publicly like humiliated about this thing. Well, you shouldn't. You should. Any progress that you've made, you. And you know, if you have an Aquarius in your life who's like super needy, especially emotionally, you know, especially if you're in the child position or they act like the child, you really need to be setting some boundaries there. Like Capricorn, you know, Saturn wants you by January to set some boundaries with people in your life. And that starts with setting boundaries with yourself. And that might be a part of this pain that you're experiencing, because you're being asked to respect your boundaries and other people's boundaries, even though you feel some type of way. That's difficult for an Aries to do, near impossible. But you know, you have this like very clear, work on it like a Libra, snap out of it. Work on it like a Libra. Cardinal Air and Cardinal Fire, you understand each other. You can do it. You need to like make it happen now. And that means cutting out a lot of the dead weight. But it's dead weight. It's not anybody else's dead weight. And it's not anyone holding on to you. It's you. That's why it's like the swords in your heart. You put them there. These are the ones you got to take out for you. 3 of Cups, 3 of Swords. It's like you. Oh, I know you were happy about that break. It's your stuff. It's your stuff. It's your stuff. And you know, that's a very Joan of Arc thing. Like, your stuff gets you strung up at the stake, and your stuff can save you. It depends on how you want to go out, a savior or a martyr, or both. But in a couple of months, some hard questions are coming. So now you like the breaks. You get it, right? But unlike Joan, we have the option to be multifaceted. We have the option of knowing that the swords we've put into our hearts are our own, and we have the option of pulling them out. And the next couple of weeks is going to give you ample opportunity to see it, feel it, and glide like fire on air all the way out of there. I love yous. Let's look at these cards, yeah?
Hi, Aries. I waited until the construction died down, but now the kids are outside playing. So if you hear children playing, it's a pretty pleasant sound, but anyhow. So, Mercury Retrograde is ending, and everything begins again. For you, that means a lot of things, and we start right here. As you know already, the past couple of weeks have been High Priestess mode to the extreme. Your instincts have been on overload. In terms of finances, you have been going back and forth about a big change, a life change. It sounds like there's a game being played outside with a referee blowing a whistle. And that brings me to my next point. The game is afoot, Aries. And here we are. And although it may not make any sense to you now, that the reading you get in 10, 12 days will be much, much different. It's because the next 10, 12 days are very important. You have a chance, Aries, now to walk into a glorious future that will give you an opportunity that is huge. It will give you an opportunity to do something you have always wanted and perhaps dreamt of doing. But you put it away. And in some ways you knew it was growing. But you put it away anyway. And in the meantime, you did some things that were a bit confusing, but also hurtful, but also destructive, but also why. And then just like that, an offer is made, something comes or did come to you. So now why is it here again? Because that choice comes back again. See, the High Priestess period is only to prepare you. Because we have to make we face the same question and have to make the better choice again and again and again and again. So whatever was put away, now you approach it one more time. And the same obstacles will face you one more time. What are they? 3 of Cups is indulgence. 3 of Cups and the Devil. Capricorn card, that is a level of self-indulgence that is scary. That is a level of risk-averse behavior that is also scary. That's someone who is terrified of success. And that is the weakness. That is the flaw. And for a lot of Aries, I'm going to drink something, excuse me. For a lot of Aries, that is the case now. You're seeing what you've really always wanted from childhood. And you wanted it when you were a child, and you wanted it after that. And you have been, in some sense, very brokenhearted about not getting it. But here is this gigantic opportunity once again falling in your lap. This is the money part of the read. Let's do this first. And you have a chance to make amends, and you have a chance to use what you've learned in the interim and use the pain that you've been through as a really rich soil for some very big things. Things you can work on, things you can make happen, things you can communicate, and can bring you quite a lot of money. We'll get into that in the extended. Good stuff. Now let's look at it love-wise. So there you are, High Priestess. Oh no, I feel the feels, don't know what to do, and bam, the Aries nature strikes. Bam, 6 of Wands strikes. I got this, I can do this. Speed and fire, the Emperor right behind you. You're leaving the indecision behind. You decide, hey, whatever it is, I'm just gonna be me. And boy, do I love an Aries who makes that call. As soon as you guys get into the I'm just gonna be me bag, no one can stop you. And the work you put in and the hurdles you faced in terms of love have been numerous. But it's tied into work. When you are working at what you love, you are the most attractive to the type of person that you are attracted to. Let me say that again. When you are immersed in a work that you are passionate about, your vibe attracts to you, without you doing anything, exactly exactly the type of person that you are attracted to. Now, in terms of work and personal dreams and fulfillment, you are reaching such an important time. You are setting yourself up in such a beautiful way. And of course, that will then affect your energy and bring really beautiful things to you. I think you have a deep-seated belief that because perhaps other people's lives become tumultuous in the process, I think you feel guilty, like it's your fault. Like, how come when things start going good for me, or for me to have good stuff, things around me have to crumble? That's not for you to decide. That's not for you to know. It's obviously not your fault. And for those of you who are going through an insane amount of heartbreak, it's noted, it's here, it's acknowledged, but also it looks extremely necessary, because it looks like whenever you start making progress, you get blocked by the same glut of feelings. I'm assuming for the same person, or because of the same issue. So to see the Tower moment there after the stop and start of the entire reading here is very welcome. It's what you want. Now, will you react very well to it? Probably not, but you'll be okay. As soon as you get your mind right, talk to the air signs in your life. Let them sort you out. Get to work. And you'll be fine. Now, if you are the Libra who is cross-watching the Aries, trying to figure out what to do, I suggest you straighten up before... Actually, if you're anyone watching, cross-watching the Aries, my message to you, I'm going to start doing these all the time. My message to the cross-watcher is that you're dealing with someone who's ticking. And when they go off, if you're anywhere in the vicinity and you are guilty, you're going to feel the burn. I suggest if you want to make your apologies, you do it in the next 10 days, probably in the next 2 days. Apologize and get out of the way. Also, if you're feeling highly opportunistic and you can already tell that the Aries are on their way up, I suggest this time you not be parasitic and not try to feed off of them. Because this time, they've been through something that has wizened them a little bit. And the only advantage any of us have on the Aries is that they are young. So a wise Aries is a terrifying thing. And I assure you that it is not something you want. So, steer clear for the next 10, 12 days if your intentions are no good. Steer clear always, of course, if your intentions are no good. And if your intentions are good, get to diffusing what could otherwise be a powder keg waiting to go off. Anticipating an Aries needs means everything to them. Do so, and they will love you endlessly. Like I love you, Aries. You're the best. Okay, I'll see you in the extend in just a second. Bye.